Krauskopf, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. If you were perfectly fine when Fever fans were bending over, kissing your ass, applauding your decisions, you better stand here and take it when Fever fans are pissed off, upset, and are voicing their displeasures. If our voice mattered that much then, you best believe it matters that much.
All right, so picture this for a second. The president of the Indiana Fever, in what can only be described as a truly head-scratching move, recently decided to drop some absolutely bombshell comments concerning none other than the phenom herself, Caitlin Clark. And let me tell you, the fallout, the entire basketball world, from diehard fans to seasoned analysts, has been absolutely buzzing, and not in a good way. I mean, seriously, when you, as an organization's leader, attempt to downplay or even subtly minimize the monumental importance of your franchise player, the very individual who is the why behind everything you do, the primary engine of your entire operation, you are, without a shadow of a doubt, basically just begging for trouble. And what happened next? The response? Oh, it was swift. It was severe. And, in a deeply ironic, almost karmic twist, it genuinely felt like destiny, like the universe itself just stepped in to deliver a much-needed reminder about who the true driving force, the undeniable leader, really is here. The ripple effects, the far-reaching ramifications of this colossal blunder, are frankly becoming genuinely beyond absurd. It really makes you pause and wonder, doesn't it? What in the world do these high-level organizations truly believe is going to happen when they actively try to dim the radiant, undeniable light of their brightest, most impactful stars? It's a question that demands a serious answer because the consequences are clearly already in motion.
It's going to get as big and go as far as Caitlin Clark takes it. And I don't think Kelly Krauskopf understands that. And the latest video that is surfacing, floating around, being consumed by Fever fans across the globe, because this is an international superstar they have on their hands. This may have been the straw.
This entire situation truly feels like the straw that finally broke the camel's back, a moment of profound misjudgment. And honestly, here's what's truly mind-boggling, almost unbelievable, about this whole mess. Based on the palpable reactions we're seeing from both the players and the staff within the Fever organization, it genuinely seems like someone at the very top, within their inner circle, actually believed this misguided strategy would somehow fly. I mean, seriously, think about it. Who in their right mind greenlights and records a detailed discussion about their intended brand development? A brand they explicitly state is supposedly more than just Caitlin Clark, and then proceeds to think, yeah, this is a terrific idea. Let's put this out there. Because, let's be brutally real for a moment, absolutely nothing screams brilliant business strategy quite like publicly denigrating, or at the very least downplaying, the invaluable contributions of the very individual who, let's be completely honest, single-handedly pulled your entire franchise from the brink of absolute, utter irrelevance. Right? It's almost comically misguided when the Fever's leadership, and I'm truly using that term very loosely here, purely out of professional courtesy, started spouting off about building this long-lasting, sustainable brand, even going so far as to draw a bizarre comparison a la Apple. Their underlying, unspoken message was painfully clear. Caitlin Clark's monumental role, apparently, is merely to help them prove that they don't want to lean too heavily on their core players. You know, because Byung is just so incredibly concerned about their group of fundamental players, which, by the way, is nothing more than thinly veiled corporate jargon for we don't want to admit that one transcendent person, one singular superstar, made all the difference and essentially resurrected our entire operation. It's a profound misunderstanding of their own reality.
That we want to sustain the growth and the interest level in the franchise. I mean, this is about the Indiana Fever. Yes, we have a foundational player in Caitlin Clark and Leah Boston, and we're going to continue to add to that. But I want this team to be the leader in the country, and a brand, an enduring brand, like Apple or something. I mean, we have a real.
Now, let me just take a moment to really break down for you exactly how unbelievably, jaw-droppingly tone-deaf these now infamous remarks truly were. It's beyond astonishing, almost unbelievable, in its sheer lack of self-awareness. This executive, with what seems like a baffling disregard for common sense, essentially waltzed right out there, directly into the swirling social media firestorm, and confidently proclaimed to the loyal fan base, "Hey, we want to keep this franchise absolutely soaring, growing, and buzzing with unparalleled enthusiasm." But then, in the very next breath, in a move that defied all logic, they were simultaneously implying that Caitlin Clark, the singular, undeniable reason for that unprecedented growth, that explosive interest, and that genuine enthusiasm, somehow shouldn't take precedence, shouldn't be the focal point. Think about it this way. It's precisely like McDonald's suddenly making a grand declaration that they want to be recognized for more than just hamburgers. But then, in a bizarre twist, they deliberately start trying to hide their most iconic, best-selling product, the Big Mac. I mean, come on, that's just absurd, right? And naturally, as you would expect, when an organization so brazenly, so outwardly disrespects the intelligence and passion of its devoted fan base, the reaction was not just swift, it was an absolute tidal wave. Social media platforms, the very heartbeat of modern sports engagement, absolutely exploded with users. They were collectively screaming at the corporation, unequivocally calling them out for being completely, utterly detached from the reality of their own success, and honestly, they absolutely, unequivocally deserved every single bit of that verbal lashing. Every critique, every angry tweet, every frustrated post, they truly did achieve something significant with those comments. But let's be crystal clear, it was probably, almost certainly, the exact opposite of what they actually intended to accomplish.
This isn't the NFL. This is the WNBA. A star is going to take the fever where the fever want to go. And that star is Caitlin Clark. Kelly, you're talking about being a leading brand. You're talking about sustaining growth, sustaining the interest level in the franchise. You know how that happens? Is if Caitlin Clark stays in Indiana, is if Caitlin Clark is participating in an entertaining and exciting brand of basketball that doesn't take away and diminish her skill sets, that doesn't turn off fans that have been following her for the last 3 to 5 years.
Now, let's be absolutely real for a moment. These supposedly intelligent business people at the Fever organization genuinely appear to have developed a severe, almost debilitating case of corporate amnesia. Think back to a time before Caitlin Clark ever graced their court on a really good night. Maybe, and I mean maybe, 4,000 people were tuning into a Fever game, their TV ratings. They were so abysmal, so utterly low, that few, if any, even bothered to sign up for anything remotely related to the team. In the entire sprawling universe of professional sports, the Indiana Fever were, quite frankly, an unknown entity, a blank, forgettable slate. But then, as if by magic, CC Caitlin Clark shows up. And suddenly they're selling out arenas faster than you can blink, smashing attendance records left and right, and becoming a hot, central topic in national conversations. This isn't just good, this is absolutely huge, a seismic shift. Yet, in their infinite, shall we say, wisdom, they actually seem to genuinely believe this unprecedented surge happened because of their amazing pre-existing organizational structure. No, let's be clear. They've been handed a generational gift, a once-in-a-lifetime player who makes people genuinely want to watch basketball. This profound illusion, this baffling illusion, is utterly crumbling before our very eyes. The comparison they dared to make to Apple? Honestly, it's laugh-out-loud hilarious. Apple revolutionized everything by meticulously building their entire brand around innovative, game-changing products. They never, ever tried to downplay the iPhone or pretend the iPad wasn't a monumental deal. Instead, they embraced their groundbreaking inventions, celebrated them, and built an empire around their undeniable success. And that, my friends, is exactly what the Fever should be doing. Right here, history, after all, is absolutely full of incredibly lucrative franchises that have revolved entirely around their transcendent stars. You don't get a Michael Jordan and then try to minimize his earth-shattering influence. You construct your entire business model around maximizing his unparalleled, God-given potential. You don't get a Magic Johnson and then pretend the Lakers would be just as popular, just as iconic, without him. The Lakers didn't accidentally invent Showtime. And it was certainly no coincidence that the Bulls became a global phenomenon. These defining, culture-shifting moments happened because smart organizations recognized they had special, once-in-a-lifetime players, and then they had the strategic foresight to build their entire identity around showcasing those extraordinary skills. Yet, instead of wholeheartedly celebrating this monumental, unforeseen win, it appears the Fever's collective brain trust completely disregarded that.